Thanks for joining us once again to find out what's new in the city of New Hope. Joining us with all the information is the mayor once again, Kathi Hemken. Welcome, Mayor. How are you this week?
Oh, good morning. Good morning. It's beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful week for the rest of the fair.
Yeah, it is fantastic. Hopefully people getting a chance to head out to the fair. But if you're in New Hope here, we've got plenty going on. Listen in for what's coming up and a calendar of events at the end of this update. Let's begin with something that's going to be happening tonight as we record this on the Monday night. The Rave Awards will be given out. Remind us again of that great opportunity to participate in the city of New Hope.
So we give these awards out. It's called the Rave Award because you're raving about the property. So either you can nominate yourself or your neighbors do. The whole idea is that somebody that's going above and beyond to keep the outside of their house up and looking pretty or doing some major remodeling inside. So we give this award out. And what it is they get big rocks and they engrave them that they've given the Rave Award. Well, some of these rocks are kind of heavy. And so my job is to give the rock to the people. Well, I pick the rock up and sometimes I have to hold it for a while and it gets kind of heavy. So we're giving them out today. If you would like to see the winners, you can go online and watch the council meeting tonight, or you can get it afterwards and watch. But the pictures are just beautiful. And it's really nice to see all the stuff that's going on in the city and how nice people are keeping up their properties.
Yeah, congratulations to all those being honored. You see the website at the bottom of the screen, newhopemn.gov. You can find out more about that council meeting and those awards there. And also you can find out more there about Elevate Hennepin. Remind us once again what this great program is and how New Hope businesses seem to be using it.
Well, Hennepin County came to us a few months ago and told us about this program. And what they have is a bunch of people on retainer or on staff who are able to help small businesses either get started or get them back on track, help them with a plan, help them get some funding if they need it. It's all free. The funding isn't free, by the way. They have to pay for that, but all the services are free. So the second report came out, the quarter. 3 businesses have taken part in this, and they've received 27 hours of services from Elevate Elevate Hennepin.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to them for doing that. It's a really valuable service for our city.
Fantastic. Let's go to Scattered Side as we're walking through community development, some of the things happening in the city. First property is 3611 Louisiana. We've been watching this for some time now, and it looks like we have a closing coming up.
We do on Monday the 28th, which was today, but you'll watch this later. They'll do the closing on that. They have already staked out where the house is going to be. It was cleared a few weeks ago. So they're going to have it staked out, and as soon as he signs the papers, he'll get busy on digging the hole and getting that house in there. Really want to get it in before the end of this year.
I can imagine. Next up is the corner of 42nd and Boone. Those 2 lots there, and one is again getting near completion.
It is. It's on the market for $469. It's not completed, but I believe it's going to go quickly. So he's working on that. He's not going to start the second house, the one on the north, until that first house is done. So keep an eye on what's going on there and look for the finishing of that. He'll have an open house once it gets finished.
Very good. Next property is 4965 Winnetka. Watching this larger piece of property that's going to be split into 2, much like the one on Boone. Where are we in this process?
Well, right now, the house is empty. They closed the well. They've done just about everything they can to the house. West Metro Fire Rescue District is going to go in there on the 9th, on the 5th of September and the 19th to do some non-destructive training for the fire department. We don't know about the police department going in there. It depends on what they need to do. There is, however, a beautiful tree kind of in the back, and I'm hoping they're able to save that. The demolition team will know whether they'll be able to save that. Both of those houses are going to face 50th. So they'll be orientated just a little bit different. They won't be facing Winnetka.
Mm-hmm.
So after we do the closing on that property, which we don't have a date for yet, we'll get the demolition bids in, and then we'll demolish the house, and hopefully they'll be able to save the trees, and then you'll see some houses going up there.
Very nice. Next property is 5306 Rhode Island, and another home sale that's pending.
Well, we had a sale on that one, and it fell through. And now there's another sale pending, so we'll hope that one goes through. That's one of our scattered site housing programs again. So we want to really see it get sold. It's just a beautiful, beautiful home.
Here's another note that's happening in the city as kids are getting ready to go back to school. This is a great partnership with the area business, something called Cut Back to School. Mayor, tell us more.
Well, it's in Crystal, but we try to promote Crystal too. So there's a barber shop at 3583 Douglas Drive, and they're doing free haircuts on the 2nd of September from 9 to 1. They tell me that it's a first come, first serve. You go in and get a haircut. They're also giving out backpacks and school supplies to the kids. And they said there's some free food there too. So if you're in the neighborhood, go there, get your free haircut, get ready to go back to school.
Fantastic. All right. Business Networking Group. Let's talk about their upcoming meeting that's coming up pretty quickly here. And I understand this is a little bit bigger audience. This is certainly something that's open to the public as well.
It is. So that's going to be on the 6th of September at 2 o'clock at City Hall. And the Center for Energy and Environment is coming in to talk to us about what you can do, not only in your business, but in your homes to save energy, to save the environment. So this one's open to the public. You don't have to be a business owner to come. There's really no strings attached. You just show up. There's probably going to be donuts and coffee, and listen to the presentation and see if it affects you, if there's anything there that can help.
Let's move ahead to the police department. A few updates to provide this week. One is they are out engaging with residents in some fun ways. It sounds like Mayor, more barbecuing going on, and you'd like to even see more.
We would. So about 6-8 months ago, the Crime Prevention Board at New Hope gave some money to the police department to buy a trailer so they could put a grill on the back of that trailer. And Brad Callio, the officer, pulls the trailer around to apartment complexes and has a free barbecue for the people in the apartment complex. So if you happen to live in an apartment or you're the manager of one, all you have to do is call City Hall, ask for Brad. They'll give you Brad's number and you can schedule a free visit. They come out and they cook hot dogs and brats and beer, no beer, hot dogs and hamburgers and chips, and it's all free. The whole idea behind that is that they want to engage the community. They want to make sure that people understand the cops are really there to support the community, not to harass them. So typically at these, we get 3 or 4 police officers come by who are on duty just to mingle with the residents and let them know that they're there to help. So it's kind of a fun, free event.
Yeah, very fun opportunity. Speaking of engaging with the community, here's a way the city is trying to engage with maybe some teenagers and maybe cooperating with the other cities nearby. Tell us more about this effort.
Well, Robbinsdale, Crystal, and New Hope all have Explorer programs. Those are young people under 21 who want to be, they have uniforms, but they're not sworn officers. So it's connected to the police department. Well, each of these 3 cities, we have found that our Explorer programs are shrinking some. And so they got the bright idea of getting those 3 cities together. It's just more kids. It's easier to train a whole bunch of them at once than 3 different departments. So they're calling it the TriCity Explorer program. And if you're interested in joining that, call your police department, the non-emergency number, tell them you're interested in the Explorer program, and they'll tell you how to get involved in that.
Let's move to Public Works. Just a quick fun fact to pass along, as the mayor likes to do on a regular basis. Tell us about streets in New Hope, and again, how this equates to some work that happens on a yearly basis.
Well, we have 65 miles of streets in New Hope, and we also have a 10-year revolving plan, I guess you'd call it. So every year we work on whatever's the number 1 on there. We add something to the number 10 spot. So right now we've done, when this latest plan is out, 31 miles of streets. We have obviously a few left to go, but the plan just keeps revolving. They go out and look at the older streets that have been repaired, see if they're in need of repair. If they are, we might do a fog seal. We might do a mill and overlay. We might have to do a total reconstruction of the street. Depends on what it needs. So I just want to remind residents, we pay a little bit more in taxes in New Hope, but a portion of that goes to the street reconstruction so that you don't have to get assessed when they come by and decide to do your street. So we think it's a good plan. It keeps everybody and it keeps the streets looking nice, but there is a revolving plan and it just keeps moving along every year.
All right. And let's talk about some of that work going on this year out on the streets, the 2023 Infrastructure Improvement Project. Where are they now? What is this phase of work?
Well, I'm going to have to read this because what they give me is a project number, and it's like, where the heck is that? I don't know. So the latest thing is on 37th Avenue and 33rd cul-de-sac. And what they're doing now is just some cleanup work where they're backfilling where the curbs have gone in. They're making sure that all the seams are right and they're cleaning up that. The next portion, they'll move to 37th, or I'm sorry, 34th and 33rd Place in Xylon. And that'll probably happen this week.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but whenever they have to disrupt a driveway, they hand deliver that notice so that you'll know if they're disrupting the driveway. You can still get in and out if you have to, but you know, when they pour that apron, of course, you can't drive on it. So you'll get a notice and they'll tell you what to do with your car and where to put it and how to take care of that.
Let's move over to 42nd and Boone, one of the major projects of this summer. What is the latest update there?
Oh, gosh. Don't try to get through on 42nd and Boone.
Okay.
The latest thing is it rained. And I can't remember when it rained last. But they spent quite a few days trying to dry out the area so they could do some more grading on that. So that's being regraded and that's going to be resurfaced. They're still looking at the end of October to have that done. No promises on that. Every time there's a weather incident, it really sets them back. But try to go somewhere else. You can always go over to Winnetka and go up Winnetka. You can get to City Hall. You just have to work at it.
All right. And let's hop over a few blocks from that location over to 169 and 42nd. And if people haven't driven by lately, there's some new things to see.
There is. They were doing most of the work in Plymouth last week. But over the last couple of days, they closed down 169 at night and they brought in the center pillars. So those are in. It looks like some progress is being made. They'll probably have to close it down again when they bring in the overlay part, you know, the actual road part of that. So it's still closed. They're looking at November probably before it'll be open. So find another way around that. It'll be nice once it's open, but it's coming. And keep in mind that after that, next year, they're going to close 36th and do the same thing. So sorry about that, but you know, it's stuff that has to get done. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Very good. And you mentioned it a little earlier, seal coat and fog seal. Again, tell us where that is happening right now in the city.
Well, you know if it happened around your neighborhood because you got rocks all
right.
over.
That's right.
So what they do is they put down blacktop, they put rocks on top of it, and they smush the rocks in. And then, of course, they all get pushed into the blacktop. So then they come out and sweep them, and they put something called fog seal. Basically, it's like putting lamination over the top of them. And that fog seal holds the rocks down so they just stay where they're supposed to be. It also waterproofs the streets so that water can't get into the streets. And with our freezing and thawing, it breaks up the streets. That's how you get potholes. So this is a way of extending the life of the street just a few more years. So I tell you where it is, but if it's in your front of your house, you know where it is.
Yep, you hear that sound in your tires as you drive around the city.
You do.
Let's move ahead to Park and Rec. A lot going on there as they're getting ready to change seasons here. And we've got something new starting up with a pretty fun name, Mayor. What is the new activity going on?
Sports Extravaganza Camp. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds like an extravaganza to me. You can look in your InMotion. You should have got a new one in the mail. If you didn't get it or you threw it out, you can go to City Hall and pick up another copy. They won't mail it to you. You'll have to go in and pick it up if you don't have it. That's a brochure you really want to keep through the winter. It's got lots of activities. It tells you the numbers, where to call, where to get information. It also tells you how to get some scholarship help. If you need some help in one of the programs and you can't afford it, you can go into City Hall and they'll pay half the fee, but you have to be in person and you have to bring proof of your identity to get that. So keep that in mind.
Here's what it looks like here with the little guy on the tractor. So lots of information here that we'll tell you about throughout the update here. One other thing in this is some movie opportunities. And it sounds like you have two movies coming up and one that just passed.
Yep, we did. Just passed was the Minions, the movie. Thrivent came and they made arrangements to have ice cream cones before the movie. So it was very well attended, of course. I'm not sure it was the movie or the ice cream, but nevertheless, well attended. They're going to have a movie at the golf course on the 9th of September. They're going to show the movie Tin Cup. So it's going to be right on one of the fairways. So bring a chair to sit on, watch an outdoor movie, eat some popcorn, and it's free. That'll start, I think, at 7:30.
Okay.
Now, also, one of the movies got rained out, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So that's going to be shown on the 30th of September at the Performance Center. And that starts, I believe, at 8:15, but that time might move up. So check with Park and Rec online, or you can always call and find out what time it does start. It's just going to start getting a little darker a little sooner, so maybe they'll start the movie a little sooner.
That's right. All right, get out and enjoy those movies. Another sign that fall is here. We've got some softball players in a new league that are on the fields.
You know, it's hard to talk about fall when it's 80 degrees outside, but it's there. So the men's softball teams are starting to play this week. They'll have that fall season that they're going to play. So if you've never done it, you should go to a game. They're free to watch. They're usually at Lighted Field over by, on the business part of the city. Go and watch a game. They're just fun to watch. They're free and just nice way to spend an evening.
Yep, that field right around 49th and Boone. So head over and pull up a chair and have some fun there. Let's talk a little bit about the Emerald Ash Borer as the season moves along here. I know the city doing quite a bit to try to help out. What is the latest there?
They have. This is so expensive. We put $500,000 in our budget for this removal of the Emerald Ash Borer, and that's just for this year. It's awful. So east of Winnetka, between 62nd and the railroad tracks, the forester has been out putting big orange dots on the trees. Those are the ones that are going to be taken down. They're going to try to get as many down as they can this fall and plant the new ones. So if you haven't gotten the list of plants to put in, trees to put in, and you had one taken down, you need to call City Hall and get on that list so you'll get the tree that you want. If you happen to have one on the right of way or your boulevard that not in your yard necessarily, but that's city-owned property and it doesn't have an orange dot and you're pretty sure it's sick, call City Hall. Okay. They'll come out and put a big orange dot on it. They may not be able to take it down this year, but at least you know that they know it's there. They've got the address and it'll come down sooner or later. There are so many trees in New Hope that need to come down. It's just sad.
It is indeed. And so many did come down on the golf course, which we see right behind the mayor here, but they're still out there golfing. And in some cases, it's a little more wide open. So maybe an easier shot here and there. Who's playing the golf course these days and who's also using the golf course patio?
Well, the trees coming down could be bad and could be good.
Right.
You know, if I hit the tree, it sometimes bounces back in the fairway.
This is
but
true.
Sometimes it bounces further off the course. So I haven't decided whether I think it's good or bad, but I do miss those trees. They're a big. So what's happening is the adult leagues are playing their last game this week, and then they'll start the fall leagues a couple of weeks after that. So look for that. If you're interested in playing in a tournament, it's called Chicks with Sticks. And Chicks with Sticks, you can pick up the form at the golf course. It's basically a women's golf tournament. It's $35 to play. It's just a fun, silly tournament. We don't give prizes for the best. We give them for showing up.
All right. Sounds like a fun name there. Let's go over to the ice arena, talk about some of the activities there. The skaters are out in mass at this point.
Well, they had the Showcase Hockey's summer finale AAA tournament last weekend. That's a real big deal. When they have a tournament there, there's just so many people and so many kids there. It's just fun. But they're also now, they call this the shoulder season. They're renting the ice out to the Minnesota All-Star Hockey teams and to the high performance programs. So there's still skaters on the ice. There's a men's league that it's not really a league. It's just a bunch of guys that are playing hockey. They rent the ice. So we keep busy, but that winter season is going to start pretty quick.
And one of our favorite things to talk about at the ice arena is the Zamboni. And I understand two things about the Zamboni. One, a little repair work, and two, still a chance to drive the Zamboni.
Yes.
All right.
Well, apparently they have to do this work when it's not being used. And so they sharpen the blades, they clean the little scooper outers, whatever they call them. But I also know they're looking for a Zamboni driver. So if this has been your lifetime dream to drive a Zamboni, now is the time. I don't think they want you for one time, though. I think
No.
they want you to be a permanent employee to drive that. So it's it's open to men, women, young, old, just if that's something you think you want to do, go for it. You can find out about that either by going to the ice arena, or you can always call City Hall, tell them you want to talk to someone in charge of the ice arena, and they'll get you in touch with Mark, and he'll give you the details of that.
Very good. All right. Human resources, a quick update here. And speaking of people getting used to and having to show they can use equipment, this is an interesting thing you pulled up related to some possible new employees to the city. What did they have to do?
There's no end to the funny things that come across my desk. Apparently, we had 8 people applying for a maintenance job, and 3 of them they had them come in and do I got to read this, an equipment proficiency test. And those 3 all passed, and now they'll go to the personnel board, who will then certify them. And the next thing they'll do is they'll interview with the director and the city manager, and we'll have a new maintenance worker soon.
Very good. Let's go to the news media. Just a few things that were out last week as far as spotlighting the city of New Hope, and a great story about the swimming pool. Remind us of that story and some of the coverage the city received.
I am so proud of those 4 young people. I mean, they all performed just amazingly well. What happened was there is a little boy who was having a hard time swimming. The lifeguard dived in, got him out. And as in the process, she noticed at the bottom of the pool was another young boy. She dived down, got him out up to the surface, got him out of the pool. They gave him CPR. In the meantime, a couple of the other people at the pool, the lifeguards, called and got some help from North Memorial and the fire department. There was another one that was directing the kids out of the way and get them away from the area. These 4 young people did an amazing job. So they were featured on CCX and on Channel 9, as well as an article in the Sun Post. So if you happen to see it and you know any of them, make sure you congratulate them and tell them we are so proud of them, because it was really an amazing job with 4 really well-trained young people.
Wonderful. Let's talk about some back to school activities happening in the area, and you've got some backpacks that are in some good hands now.
Well, at National Night Out, we asked people if they would donate school supplies as well as food. So the food was picked up and the school supplies. The food all went to either Near or Prism, and the school supplies are now being sorted out. And what they'll do is they'll put them in the backpacks of students, New Hope students going to our schools, and there'll be pencils, paper, just all kinds of supplies. And you've got a picture of all those supplies that were picked up. So thank you very much to those National Night Out participants that participated in the school drive.
Very good. One other thank you to pass along. We want to thank residents who have participated in the city services survey. Tell us the latest numbers and some of the early information you're seeing.
So we sent out this survey with your water bill, but if you don't get a water bill, you can go online and answer this survey. You have until the 1st of October to get it in. So far, we have 475. We've read them all, we've processed them, and we've got some numbers. It looks like about 74% of the people think that the appearance of the city is good or excellent, and 80% think the services at New Hope are good or excellent. So I'm happy to be part of a good or excellent city.
Fantastic, and keep sending in those surveys. And as we close here, I want to mention again the In Motion. This is that magazine. A lot of information in here about activities going on in the city, and a few things you're going to see in our calendar of events in just a second. More information right here. Mayor, great to see you once again. Thanks for the update, and look forward to see you again next week.
Thanks, Dave. Will then. Bye-bye.
Learn more about the connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.